4.2 liter straight six belt routing is as follows. This is how you install. We're gonna go under the crankshaft. And it can be a little tricky, tight quarters. Reach your arm around. There we go, we're on the crankshaft. Crankshaft up to above the water pump and down to the AC. To the idler pulley, the inside towards the middle of the engine, and then outside of the alternator. We're going to come back around to the power steering from the alternator. And that's a tight squeeze in between the tensioner. And then we go over the tensioner back down to the crank. So going clockwise, it's power steering, alternator, idler, AC, water pump, crank, tensioner, back to the power steering. Now we're going to take the belt off of the idler pulley on this side. It's just the easiest way. And the belt popped off of the crankshaft. So we want to put that back on there. Make sure it's all the way on the AC so we have enough room to make the squeeze. Alright, we don't have enough room to get on the crank all the way. We'll take it off the tensioner. That's not enough room. Got to get on that crank. So we've got our 3/8 ratchet right here, and it plugs into the middle of the tensioner. We're going to bring that clockwise so that we can get over our crankshaft pulley, our harmonic balancer. There we go. Bring this belt back on the tensioner. Everything's almost on. We're going to make sure that everything's in the grooves. Power steering, crank, AC, everything's in its grooves. Now we bring that ratchet over. And this is a fresh tensioner. Lots of tension. We're going to try to slide it on that idler. Boom. We slid it on. We popped off the AC just a little. Bring our ratchet back over. Bring it back. Boom. We're on the AC. Back on the idler. Everything's in its groove. Boom, boom. Power steering needs to go back in its groove. Bam. Double check the crank. Crank's looking good. Double check the AC. Feeling good all the way around. All right, now we got to pop our ratchet out of there. I'll just grab a pry bar. Because I ratcheted it, it's hitting on this washer fluid reservoir and holding the tension. The belt's loose. So we're just gonna pop it out of there, and now our belt's tight. So we're over the power steering pulley, over towards the outside of the alternator, inside of the idler pulley, outside of the AC. From the AC, from the inside, go straight up around the water pump, and then down the right side, if you're looking from this way, of the crankshaft. And then it comes around to the top side of the tensioner, and that from that tensioner goes straight over passenger side of the power steering back to the alternator.